Oh, how's it going, everybody? We're back for another edition of In Quickie. That's right. So, what we got for you today is another new metal band. Another band that I would consider a second stage band. Not really mainstream, not really well known amongst the masses, but definitely underrated too. So, tonight we feature Reveille. That's right. And to describe their sound, you could almost compare it to Rage Against the Machine a little bit. So, my first time ever hearing them, well, back in the day, bring! So back in the day, I used to listen to 98 Rock in Baltimore, and sort of a funny story there is, living up here in PA, it was a station that you didn't often get around here. So I actually spliced my stereo system into my parents' TV antenna and was picking them up. But sort of the point of that story is they had this segment on there called Love It or Shove It. Like most radio stations do it. Like 1015 Bob Rocks right now does Hit It or Quit It. And then I think, 98 YCR did Smash It or Trash It. Wink 104 did Keep It or Sweep It. You get the idea. So anyhow, I first heard them on Love It or Shove It with the song Permanent. And I don't believe the song really got many votes, so I never heard it again after that, at least on the radio. And then, of course, I heard the Phoenix being promoted in a commercial one time on 105.7 The X. But I actually got this at the store, the record store, of course, or the CD store, the music store. But here we have their debut album, Laced. See it right here. So here we start off with their song, Butterfly. Then we have Perfect World. Then there's Permanent, Take a Look Around. And then you got the Phoenix, No Longer Comment. You got Untied, Rise and Blind, Judas, Flesh and Blood, Feel, Aftertaste, Spit with 2 T's, Coming Out Swinging, and then you got Dark Horizons. And yeah, very heavy stuff. You really get like the hard riffs and a lot of the rap. That's kind of how I feel like they compare with Rage Against the Machine a little bit. So, moving on, that was 1999's Laced. We have 2001's Bleed the Sky, their second and last album. Get the art on the back there. Kind of a weird cover, too. But this one, I first heard it on, I never really heard it anywhere on like regular radio. This time around, again, goes back to the MTV2 days. When I used to watch their rock block, like every evening, I heard a couple of the tracks off of this on that block. So here we have Unborn, and then the single, What You Got. That's one of the videos I saw on that block. You have Look at Me Now, Mortified Lie, Coming Back, Killing Me, Bleed the Sky, Inside Out, which was another one I heard on there, Cat Tracks, Down to None, Derelict, Plastic, and Farewell Fix. And since we're not even going to talk about rating, I'll just talk about what I like better right now. So I definitely like this album a lot better than the first one. More heavier, better produced. And basically, they released an EP before their first full album, which it had 6 of the songs that are on the first album, and it got the attention of the record company. So then they were signed on, and apparently what happened is they were going to be recording a third album, and I guess they had creative differences with the record company, and then that was that. Pretty much the record label dropped them and the band disbanded. They did, however, reunite in like 2008 for like one show up in Massachusetts, where they're actually from. And after that, you heard nothing more of them. But sort of flash in the pan, like a second stage band. And I do believe that they were on one of the Ozfest tours as well, so they were getting a little bit of promotion there. But yeah, both good albums, love them. If you're into like new metal that's not so mainstream and so overplayed, and something different, good stuff here. So, I hope you enjoyed this week's edition of the In Quickie featuring Reveille. So, next video, we're sort of going to stick with the new metal theme a little bit. find out who we talk about next time.